Okay, I don't know how the sound on this will appear, so I'm probably going to be talking either way too loud or way too quiet. The camera is about 2 feet above it. I'm not great with the cameraman like invert, but so I rigged it with two little clamps that I found in the garage, and it's sort of hanging off the side of my bookshelf. Somebody asked for me to show them how to lube their Mini, so I get a few marks on here. So I will. The only thing you'll need for regular maintenance is your regular, I forget what size it is. Oh well. It is one of the medium sizes in your toolbox. I marked off all the wrenches that I need to disassemble my marker with blue heat shrink, and all the wrenches that I need to adjust the trigger with red, which is only one, because I couldn't tell which one it was. All that I need to adjust velocity with white, which would be the one that goes down here, and the one that goes in here. It helps a lot. So all you need is to undo this back little screw, which really only needs like half a turn, or a full turn, then you can take it out by hand. And then you can either try and pry your back cap out through here, which is kind of hard, but you can do it, or reach down the feed neck and really bad leverage, huh? Or go across the room and grab a squeegee and shove that down the barrel. Jesus, mine's always stuck in there because I think my O-rings are swelled, but there you go. Now just unclip your spring. This is the NDZ V2 bolt that I don't know if I've talked about before, but I'm testing it for NDZ along with their spring kit. And yeah, I can't tell any information on that yet, but anyway, all you have is your spring, your bolt, and your bolt guide, and your poppet, of course. And I'll show you how to lube the poppet too. Now for the poppet, you'll need to open up the back cap. All you do is take your biggest one, the one used for velocity adjustment, put it down in the back cap, and unscrew it all the way. All the way, all the way. There we go. Pop that off. You can use this Allen key and just put it down in that hole and gently pop this out. Whew. And there's your poppet, there's your spring, your bolt guide, your Mini, your back cap, and your spring. Or not your spring, your screw. Now find some paper towels or something to clean it off with. You could use a towel. I don't. I use paper towels because they're just easier to get rid of. And just wipe it down. Wipe down this section. Get a little bit off of these too. Your back cap has an O-ring right here. Get the lube off of there too. Get the lube off of your poppet O-ring and anything that might be on the face and then grab your bolt by the inside and just clean the whole thing off of lube. This is fresh lube, so mine doesn't have any dirt in it. It hasn't actually been played yet, but I don't mind reapplying because I have so much spare lube. Lurker lube, $8 a tub, this big, and it'll last you forever. I've had mine since April and lubing my Mini like at least once every other day. Then your spring, you can wipe off your spring. At least you're doing this faster. Okay, now your poppet is sort of special. Ignore the O-rings in there. The only thing you can lube on this poppet is grab a very small amount, like barely coating your finger, maybe a little bit more, and wipe it around where the O-ring goes on the poppet. And that's all it needs. It doesn't need very much lube. It just needs enough to slide. Pop that back in and push it in with your pinky. Voila, your poppet is lubed. Now, I said about the back cap O-ring, just take your finger with a little bit of lube and go around there till the whole O-ring is nice and shiny. And then put it in the back and screw it down all the way. Otherwise you might have problems with your Mini poppet being unseated, which will cause you to have a barrel leak. And this is all you need to do to reseat your poppet. Screw it all the way in, and then screw it 3/4 of a turn to bring it to 300 FPS. Now, as for the spring, you don't need to lube it, but what I do is get a little bit on my pinky finger and just rub it on the inside here. A little bit on the outside. That's all I do. The bolt guide, put a little bit on these 3 O-rings just to make sure that they seal, and then put a decent amount all over the bolt guide. These front 3 O-rings are also what prevent blow-by in the bolt, which is commonly mistaken for blow-back. You'll know it's blow-by because the ball will jump 10 feet in the air and break on the ceiling. I've had it done before. All you do is replace your front 3 O-rings and they'll be fixed. There, that's lubed. I'm trying not to wipe off the lube on a towel. I should have an invert work pad here this week. This package is shipped out, but it's not here yet. Your bolt. Now, even for normal bolts, put a little bit of lube on the front here. The stock bolt will have a tip. Mine has an O-ring. Make sure you lube that, otherwise it'll tear itself apart. This isn't something mandatory, but I like to get it on my pinky and rub it just inside the bolt a little bit. Get a decent amount, like, oh jeez. That's a little bit overdoing it, but that amount. And put it over both of your back O-rings. Mine only has 1 back O-ring, but on the stock bolt it will have 2 back O-rings. You spin in the bolt, and then I like to lube this little section right here. On the stock bolt, it helps prevent the spring from wearing against it. All you do is pop this back on, make sure that it snaps on down here, and then push it back on the bolt guide. Make sure to test that your O-rings are alright. Is to just hold up your entire bolt system by the spring and make sure it doesn't fall off. You can jiggle it a little bit. Odds are if you go up and down a little bit, it'll fall off, but that's just good lube. I've heard of people with Hater Lube V2 doing that and it'll fall off, so another real test is just to do this if you know that it'll fall off the other way. Or if you don't have any blowback, don't worry about it. Now just shove it back in there. Make sure that the little hole on top in one of the indents here is lined up with that peg. I keep wiping off my hands because I hate having grease on my Mini. Put this screw back in all the way. Ta-da, 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 na-na-na-na. Make sure it's nice and tight. Voila, your Mini's lubed. If you guys want me to do any more tech videos, just tell me. I don't really care. I have nothing else to do. And yeah, that's it. Don't break anything.